let's go back and listen. Tim Legler made a really good point. This is how he feels the Cavs are different this year than they were last.
Marcus Smart's going to spin out. Look at the timing on this. Jarrett Allen is your last line of defense. He's one of your lead shot blockers. This thing is above the square, but it's what happens after that, Scott, that I want to focus on. They didn't have this element last year. Donovan Mitchell's going to peel out. The ball's going to come here to Garland up the floor. You didn't have this finishing ability with one of your wings. You can take a look at Donovan Mitchell right away. Look at this. Already pointing. He's already asking for the lob, and he's about 45 feet away because he knows it's going to be very difficult for both of these defenders to get back and protect and stop basketball. You see Garland is looking at him the entire way, and he's just going to throw this thing up. And that's special. That's your guard, two-guard finishing again. It's a one-point game with 3:45 to go. So to get out in the open floor. I loved this team last year. We talked about it at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
And you went out and you added a guy, Mitchell, who at times late in Utah, you question his shot making, his shot selection, his playmaking ability, because it was all in his lap.
Sure.
It's not the case here. He could do things physically they didn't have last year, but it's not all on him. And that's why I think this is going to be a team we're going to talk about all year.
And Sam, I felt it when they traded for him and seeing it in action. They got something going on there, and I think they're going to ascend because the younger guys are going to figure it out as the season goes on as well.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Sam Mitchell and a couple other people have said they're probably not even playing their best yet because they're still getting used to each other, and Donovan Mitchell's still getting used to his new teammates. But Tim Legler is right. First of all, Cavs fans probably loved seeing that play from alley-oop from Garland to Mitchell. That's what you'd been dreaming about when they made the trade. But, yeah, you talk about last season and how the Cavaliers really were kind of, the most pleasant surprise in the NBA until all the injuries occurred toward the end, in which they, nobody was really expecting them to make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs, but they finished with the number 8 seed in the East despite all the injuries, and they really started to build something very promising. Well, you're right, Dave, going out and getting Donovan Mitchell, and to me, and I've seen him play before, this may be the best 7-game stretch of his career. And he's had a dynamic career, 3-time All-Star guy who's been to the playoffs. He just has brought something else that he didn't have in Utah. He didn't have these type of teammates in Utah either. He had a couple of nice teammates here. He's got, guys who Mobley has the potential to be an all-star. Jarrett Allen was an all-star. Darius Garland was an all-star. Veteran and Kevin Love, who's won a title. I mean, just that alone really is kind of a nice setup for Mitchell, and he's really been capitalizing on it. So, yeah, the best should be yet to come with this group because, remember, their core is very young, and usually young teams don't get it done, but they've really been getting it done, and really you compare them to some of the other young rosters, younger teams, you have to think the Cavs have the brightest future of the bunch.